So I'm on Twitter posting my usual "let's help everyone succeed" stuff after someone says that price is one of the biggest factors in selling art. And they respond with something to the effect of, "Don't belittle me, I know how to sell my art. You're so lucky and privileged that you get to charge a decent price for your work." Okay, I'm going to address this topic real quick and tell you just why this is possibly the biggest insult you can ever give a creator of any kind. To their credit, this poster immediately deleted their tweet, and I don't hold anything against them. There are so many others who believe this lie, however, that I'm going to talk about it for their benefit as well as to just get this off my chest. Warning, there are some touchy topics in this video, so if you have a suicide, mental illness trigger, this isn't for you. Go watch some of my more upbeat videos. You still here? Alright, let's get started. I started drawing again during a very difficult time in my life. My husband and I had just moved after he'd gotten an offer from a new company. My daughter was only 2.5, and my son was not yet 3 months old. It was a promising offer after his previous company treated him like crap, and we finally felt comfortable living in housing that didn't give you a steep discount if you needed government assistance. At first, it was marvelous other than trying to get my stubborn son to sleep through the night, but that was typical parenting stuff. Then, my husband's company screwed him over. He'd been promised an ownership role, but after they felt like they'd taken all of his business ideas, they demoted him to a door-to-door salesman. He was still recovering from being so sick he couldn't work for almost a year, and physically and emotionally could not take being a door-to-door salesman. So with my encouragement, he left. I started looking for a job as well and found one, but it took up 2/3 of my paycheck just to pay for friggin' childcare, and the owner fired me after 3 weeks and taking all of my business ideas. That's what was going on financially, so you can imagine the stress that's taking place here. All this while also being sleep deprived due to my little boy, trying to give my little girl the attention she needed, being worried about my husband's mental and physical health, and to top it all off, our apartment was being invaded by scorpions, creatures that I hate with a vengeance. I was sleeping on the couch with our son so my husband could fight his insomnia and rest enough to work during the day. My parents announced that they were getting a divorce, and my entire family left the religion I had grown up with and still believe in. To say that my own mental health started to deteriorate would be an understatement. I became an anxious, depressed wreck. It got so bad that my therapist, whom I got to visit while being on Medicare, said I was passively suicidal, meaning that while I wouldn't actively try to take my own life, I was wishing something would happen to me so I could stop being so scared and sad all the time. Art became my only escape. I drew in my old sketchbook with whatever I could find lying around. The art sucked. I knew this. I still tried to digitize it with my crappy little Chromebook back when they were old, and I still have that actually. Anyway, it's crappy for art, for sure, but I still tried to digitize it so I could animate enough to start a YouTube channel, as I knew the importance of helping with the family income, and I still couldn't get a job no matter how hard I looked. I knew it was a long shot, but I had to do something to keep my mind from going to very dark places. My husband found a second job, but soon found out that he was getting ripped off, and he had to pay back customers out of our own already shallow pockets. After over a year of this, the apartment complex said they were raising our rent and would not be negotiated with. Sick of everything we've been through, my husband finally found a job offer closer to my family that actually paid a decent wage. We ensured the rental that we moved into was newer and scorpion-free. Everything was looking up, but the whole experience had left a gaping scar. I still dove into my artwork to cope, posting it to the warrior cats and equestria minos. I started to gain a following, but it was mostly due to just giving out free drawings. When a close friend paid me $100 for a framed art piece, it was like a light turned on. My work was actually worth something. I opened commissions for ridiculously cheap, starting out at literal pennies, but no one was interested until I actually upped my prices. Hence my belief that if you up your prices, people will actually be confident enough to hire you. I was able to scrape enough together to go to Crystal Mountain PonyCon in Utah, a convention that's now closed unfortunately, and have a table as a vendor. It was there that I met and befriended Lightning Bliss. The trip itself was a financial failure, but it had boosted my confidence and my ability to sell. My parents gave me a gift card for my birthday so I could hire Golden Fox to create a vector puppet of my old pony character, and my channel started to take off. I woke up early every morning and studied how to create a good YouTube channel, scared myself silly by venturing out of my comfort zone and asking Ashley H., then Dr. Wolf, for a collab. I was rejected by The Secret Rift, then accepted after I took Kichi's critiques and improved after a few months. I befriended the editor after he hired me for a commission, saying I was still charging too little. I drew and drew and drew and drew. I took online classes. I sucked up my pride and studied the basics with little kids. I copied artists I admired. I watched tutorials and speed paints and art channels like there was no tomorrow. I refused to allow myself to give any excuses. Excuses cost time and money. I could not afford excuses. I couldn't afford to not accept critiques. I couldn't afford to ignore feedback. I was improving so fast that I was almost never satisfied with my work for more than a day. And then it was back to ripping it apart and finding out ways to improve. You know, people don't talk about that part of improvement, especially rapid improvement, how it means coming to grips with almost never being satisfied with your work. It is a difficult and draining process. It takes a lot of discipline to not go back to that dark place I was in before, and every single word of encouragement and helpful, thoughtful feedback means the world to me. I fell out of interest several times. I even quit for weeks and months on end, but I always came back. Listening to podcasts on business and finances during breakfast and lunch, waking up early every Saturday morning to watch a channel critique livestream, working nights to get my business certificate, all while balancing running a household and raising 2 children. All of this happened over the space of 5 years. It took time and patience and practice and a stubbornness I had no idea was in me until it was tested to its limit. I'm still on this journey now. I'm not even close to being done. I still struggle with moments of self-doubt and criticism and fear that I'll either never achieve my goals or that I will and then lose my most precious relationships because of it. But yeah, I guess I'm just lucky and privileged to have gotten this far. Have you ever had your hard work attributed to just luck? Tell me your stories in the comments below. This video is brought to you for free by my incredible patrons, including the epically generous Shepherd Shield, Thundernote the Change Pony, Ram Digga Jam, Gigabit the Saved Gamer, D Birch, Sharp Wit, Rocky Harmony, and Raven Leadmoon. Join them today by clicking the link in the description below. My love to you all, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.